this. I am nothing like Mindy, and Mindy is nothing like me. I prefer to be at the back of the room, and she wants to be at the front of the room. So what she's good at, I'm better back there. I'm better working in the back office. I'm better taking care of things that she's not strong at. She's really good at things I'm not strong at. This is not my forte right here at all. But just kind of dipping my toe in the water. You know, she started, and she's hounding me all the time, post. Do videos. Well, I haven't done videos yet, but I do with her, but on my own, no. But, you know, I started posting a little bit and getting some feedback from guys and things like that. So if you could just even convince him to take a picture with you working out, and then, you know, if he has his own account, tag him in it, and you know what's going to happen? He's going to start hearing from guys, you know, you can speak for him. You don't need to. You can be in charge of his account. I love drinking Shakeology. And what he's going to figure out after a while is, you know, people really do care what I think about this stuff. Mm-hmm. They really do. And that was important to me, as I started getting questions, and I started feeling like, okay, I can be an asset here, even more than just looking at downlines and things like that. And then going as far as just a little something like going to Elance and asking Elance to make a logo for him. Mm-hmm. Something small like that. But guys dig that, and we dig tough logos. This is not my logo. Fluffy heart in the middle. You know, I asked Michelle where my logo was. It's nowhere in this room. I don't understand what's happening.
I want to say something right now so bad, but I'm fine.
What do you mean to say, honey?
No, I will do it. You told me not to, so I will do it.
All right, we talked about the psychology of a husband. I'm going to break a cardinal rule. I'm going to tell you. A question, a statement that might, I mean, like batting 1,000. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Like, this might work every time you try it with your spouse, with your husband.
Speak slowly.
I only speak slowly. So
Yes, just one way.
note takers. If I go slow, it'll be worse, more syllables. Dear, and I'm serious about this. What's his affectionate name? Whatever you call your husband. I'm going to read this. Yeah, well,
Hunky buns.
And I'm going to dissect why I think this is how you get your husband to be involved. Okay? One of my biggest challenges, struggles, whatever, in my business, weaknesses. Oh, okay. I'm going to read it all and go back through it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, dear him, one of my, don't call his name, be affectionate. You get what I'm saying here?
Give us some examples of
Affectionate.
Honey, baby.
Sweetheart, baby.
Mindy calls me stud.
stud. When you close your eyes and dream, I call you.
Yes, you do.
I'm telling you, you gotta butter the bread sometimes. So give your husband
Butter
his
the
affectionate
bread.
name. One of my biggest struggles, challenges, obstacles in my business is blank. Okay? Be specific. This is going to do two things. You got him his affectionate name, so you're not coming in nagging, clawing, whatever. You're setting a soft tone. And you're also, don't play the damsel in distress, but there's something in the psyche of a guy when a woman is in need. I promise you, he's a little tuned in.
We want our wives to meet us.
So I'm breaking the guy rule. We're doing this right now. Don't record this.
You just cracked the
I'm
code.
recording it.
No!
Why? Don't tell
All
the
right.
sorry.
All right. Lee made this up. I'm just. Here we are. Dear honey buns, one of my biggest challenges in my business is understanding team volume. I mean, like a real thing that's not something that's good that you struggle with. And I know that you really excel at blank. Listen, girls, stroke the ego. I know, it's something you do at work or something I've seen in you. I mean, affirm him in this moment. You've got his affectionate name. You've identified yourself as needing help with something, and then you've just bragged on and validated him. Dear Honey Buns, one of my biggest challenges, struggles in my business is blank, and I know that you really excel at fill in the blank. Would you mind helping me? And then don't say if it was checking my downline. You don't go back and say that. You got to be even more specific. Would you mind
Helping me create an Excel document to track my
telling you,
It's like literally.
when you say, I just want you to be more involved in my business, your husband doesn't know what to do or where to start. Be specific and just get his toes in the water. Okay? I'm type A, administrative, and all this stuff, and we could, in multiple business centers, I'm a 2-star diamond coach. I don't even know my coach ID or anything. I'm a strategy in the Myers-Cross training world, but all these things, and it comes tax season, and I've got to report on all these things. I created my own, Excel document to keep up with business centers, and I started telling Michelle, how we could predict what it would look like next year based off of this volume. I mean, I got involved with something that I'm passionate about, which was the budget, which was income. But what I did is I played to something that I was passionate about that supports your business. Most of you, because you're here, are the face of your business. So your husband is just like us. He's not going to be the face of it. Michelle asking me to still do videos and photos. I hate them. If I do it, you didn't see before the 5 minutes of me frowning and pouting about taking a picture. Then you saw the smile, and she worked some magic on it to make it look good. That's every photo that I take just about still 7 years in with all of her success. Both of us. Okay.
Question for you. So if you do get involved, what makes you incentivized to continue helping? Because I know my husband's super supportive. He does all of my shipping. I give shirts to everybody. Every time anybody does anything, I send them something. And he does Excel spreadsheets, and literally it took me 7 months to figure out what team volume was. So he just kept telling me because he watched the video for me. But now I feel like he's almost getting burned out because he's been so. So what is it that incentivizes you to keep going?
Yeah, Michelle's growth. There's just new, income grows, I'm more involved.
That's
Cooking in the nude helps. Yes.
It's like the breakup. You're gonna walk to the fridge and grab a drink and then go back.
Just don't cook bacon.
I'll never
So here's my thing. Like, I've tried this similar, you know me, so
Yeah.
it probably wasn't exactly like this. But, like, my husband is very much like you in the sense of, like, numbers, analytical, logical, all that. So when I say something like, I don't understand team cycle bonus, like, will you help me, blah, blah, blah. His answer every time is, you need to research that and figure that out. Like, this is your business.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I wouldn't have led with team cycle bonus.
I wouldn't either.
That's an outsider language to him.
Okay.
I remember, I think his toes have to get in the water.
Okay.
Like, he's done insanity. I mean, I'm telling you, your husband has got to find something that he feels like, oh, I can do that and feel good about it.
Yeah.
Feels like
Because it's your business if we're not careful.
Yes.
And until y'all can
No,
come
we've
together.
given you,
yeah.
James given you, I've given you a couple of examples. They're not all gonna work. All your husbands are different. You gotta
Right.
pick which one. You know your husband better than we do.
Right.
Which one is he gonna respond to? If you open up an account for him on Instagram, and start posting as him doing insanity or whatever, and you get on his phone and you get him logged in, so when he pulls up that, he sees the tags he gets and all these things, and people asking him questions, how much weight he's lost or anything.
Can I say something, Lee? I don't think you've ever let me post as you ever.
Well, I've been on it. That's the key.
Oh, that's the difference, okay. Well, but here's the deal, I just wanna back up just a minute, because like, this is where it gets muddy, in my opinion, cause like, Lee got on in after tons of prayer, and I get so frustrated, not because he's not doing his job, I have to explain everything, one little thing at a time. I'm like, why don't, like, part of me said, why did you just get this? But it's like him telling me what he did for UT Southwestern Medical in a day, and I'm like, what? That's what, and why am I getting frustrated with the man that I married? So we started out so easy. He would put the kids to bed on the nights I had team calls and the nights I did webinar. That's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
Then he would bump it up to give them a bath and then put them to bed. Like, this was huge.
That was
And
huge.
that was huge. And I'm like, I put it in. That's what I wanted to say, but of course I didn't. I did right now, but that was years ago.
Yeah,
And
you really did
so,
say it.
so that's kind of where it went.
Yeah.
And seeing the other dudes was helpful, but I used language with him, and he's just like, what? Okay, he's just like someone on the outside that's not a coach. How would you describe what you do, layman's terms? But I would say to him, so there's this kind of number, Excel, sort of almost how everybody is lined up. I don't really know how to look at it. Got to make sure there's a certain number by Wednesday night. Can I show you what it is? I just have a hard time figuring this out. And while I had already been figuring out for 5 years, it's just, that's not smart for me to do, because he could go, and I'm thinking out here. So it has to start very loving, layman's terms, and what is something that he would immediately get better than you would get it. And even though what you're saying, you know you could do it, but in order for him to be a part of it and invest, like it's his business too, it has to start with those little tiny baby steps. You just have to back the truck up and go, I love this marriage more than I love the business, but I want the business to thrive. Let me treat him the way he needs to be treated. And then we'll go from there. And that's with respect and honor, even if he's butthead, sorry. Respect and honor, and then you go from there. Not that you're ever butthead, honey.
Yes, dear.
I think too that, like James worded the question of helping your husband to understand, I'm not asking you to do my job for me, I'm asking you to help me. That's what I want. I want you to help me. I don't want you to do my job. I want you to help me. And I think that's different than, it's just a different
Completely
kind of.
delegating a task. He's not
Yeah.
ready for that. This is before you get to that, where Lee and I are more stakeholders now. This is taking you all the way back to the front.
If what you were asking was easy to do, you do it yourself.